First off, Dan, what does it mean in general just to have a D-League team for the Toronto Raptors?
Oh, it's going to be great. It's something that we've wanted to have since our group got up here with the Raptors, and it's something that we've really been pushing for the sole reason of just developing our young guys. It's going to be such a big boost for the guys at the end of the bench who might not get all the game experience that you'd hope for, but this is going to be an opportunity for them to not only practice with the main team down in Toronto, but also out in Mississauga, just get more reps and then have game action, live game action, which is the best learning tool for these guys. So it's going to be so big for them.
What about the talent level? What do you think of the talent level that you're seeing out there now?
It's actually really impressive. I mean, we were kind of curious what it was going to be like coming in. We weren't quite sure. We weren't expecting really a certain number of people or anything, so it was kind of just kind of blind coming into it, and it's been really, quite impressive for the number of. We were surprised at how many, big guys there are. Like we were thinking it would be more of, the average size, but I mean, there's some good height out there too. So definitely a lot of players.
And so among the players here, what are the chances of any of these guys actually making the team?
So we're mandated by the D-League to, we can only sign 5 guys from this group. And those 5 guys, they can be invited to our training camp, to the D-League training camp. And from there, it'll be just how they play against the other guys within the camp, whether or not they can make the team. But so basically 5 guys will have a real shot at making our regular season roster.
So you plan to sign 5 guys from here, or you can sign up to 5 guys?
We can sign up to 5 guys, and it's actually, I should say that the D-League can sign up to 5 guys. So how it works is they actually sign a contract with the league, and then because they came from our local tryout, they'll be assigned to our training camp.
So going back 20 years, or the lifespan of those Raptors, what does it mean to have this here now, like in terms of basketball in Canada, talent level, what does it mean for the sport in Canada?
I think what's going on today is a great indication of where the game is going in this area and in Canada in general. I think I wasn't here 20 years ago. I'm from the States, but I know the way the game is going and how influential having the Raptors in this area have been on the sport of basketball. And I think this is a clear sign of just the upward trajectory of what the interest in the game is. And it'll probably only get bigger and bigger, and then the addition of the D-League kind of broadens our reach as far as talent level goes, so it makes the goal even bigger or more attainable for a lot of these guys. So it's definitely great.
What is the measure of success for the Raptors 905? Because if you truly do your job, it's developing players against that level. But at the same time, the team is able to compete when the best guys keep leaving.
Yeah, it's tough. It's definitely the thing that where we've kind of had that discussion as a staff where we're going into this with the intention of developing players. Like that takes precedence. I mean, I think with the way the D-League is set up and right now, your players can be called up by any NBA team, unless there are assignment guys. It's hard to keep the good players on one team, and so we know that going into it. And the teams that win the D-League championship every year, they might not be the guys with the most NBA players, but our goal is to develop, for one, our Raptors players, most importantly, but then also, we want to bring in guys that we're intrigued in to maybe have a shot with our Raptors team, whether it's in Summer League next year or training camp, or just guys that we kind of have on our radar going forward, and just really get our coaches working with them and get the best feel for the guys that we can, regardless of wins and losses. I think it'll be great to win games, and I mean our coaches are going to do their best to win games, but they know that sometimes the environment's tough for that, and if we can just keep our players developing, I think that'll draw fans to the games, and the entertainment level will be there no matter what. So it'll be good.
From a coaching standpoint, do you think that having the ability, if both Coach Casey and Coach Mermise wanted to run similar sets, do you think having that ability to do that and then have guys coming into the Raptors,
Absolutely.
It'll be a lot easier for them to adapt to it?
Yeah, I mean the 905 is literally going to run every single thing that we run with the Raptors. There'll be no difference at all. The terminology will be the same. That way, when our guys get assigned to the team, they can just show up and know exactly what we're doing. The only thing they'll need is a scouting report for the team they're playing, and then when a play is called, like, they won't miss a beat. And then same with our guys that are on the 905, if they ever get called up to us, like, they'll know exactly what we're doing. So that's the beauty of the close proximity of the two teams. And we've had our coaches, our 905 coaches, working with our Raptors coaches for the last couple of weeks, just being around during the NBA voluntary workouts. And they're going to come out to Vancouver with us for training camp and just get downloaded on everything that our Raptors coaching staff does. And the goal is to have it completely seamless between the two teams.
What went into your thought process with putting this coaching staff together?
You know, we tabbed Jesse as the best candidate for the head job for us, because with the Raptors, he was the head of our development. And like I said, like, that's our primary goal, is develop our young guys. And so the fact that we're going to have him now, like, running this team, clearly our development's the number one thing. And then with neither of us having D-League experience, we wanted to make sure we had some guys with the D-League background in them. And so when we got Tim and Nate as, like, the two lead assistants, we grabbed guys who they both were at the D-League the last year. And so Nathaniel, with him being a local guy too, that's a huge thing for us to just, for one, know the local players, like this level of talent, just have a good feel for them, but also to just, you know, like, tie in the local community too. And I mean, we hope to have local guys make the final roster and be with us all year. And I think having a local coach, like, it helps with tying the communities together. And again, though, I think the biggest thing is that, like, the player development. Like, we brought in those guys, and then with David Gale, who was with us with the Raptors too, that's his big thing too, is just player development. So we wanted to bring guys in who we know they can coach, they know the game of basketball, but the biggest thing is running drills with guys and getting them better. And the goal by the end of the year is to have, you know, the players better than where they were when they came with us.
You touched on having local coaches. Last year, Masai mandated he wanted a Canadian player on the Raptors team, coordinating on the team. Yep. Is there a similar mandate by you guys to have a Canadian player on the team, or is that something that's going to?
You know, not so much a mandate, but definitely, like, we know there's so many young Canadian players in the talent pool of the level of the D-League that it'll just be a matter of which ones they are. I mean, hopefully it's more than just one. I mean, I would like as many roster spots of guys that we can get in there that are competitive and they're good enough for the D-League. I mean, they'll get a good shot at making our team and helping us win.
What has been, like, kind of the biggest transition between going from your previous role with the Raptors to now the GM of 905?
Unfortunately, I'm still doing everything I am with the Raptors too. Okay. So it's been a lot of work. I'll say that. Like, I've been told by Masai to not give up anything I do with the Raptors. So it's made a lot longer hours and more phone calls that my wife isn't too crazy about. But no, it's been a really good learning experience. Just kind of learning a lot of the business side of things. I'm so entrenched in the personnel side of things with the Raptors to see how you put a team together and how teams run. And I mean, something like this, how it gets put on. It's all new to me, and it's definitely, experience that I'm taking with me going forward. But it's been great. It's been good just working with the other GMs around the D-League. I know a handful of them. I'm still getting to know some of them. But it's a really tight-knit community that it's been a very busy couple months getting this going. But I definitely think once we get rolling, it'll be a little bit easier, and it'll kind of just maintain itself going forward.